So guys, pretty simple job. I just couldn't find much information online. I'm going to show you some photos first to get people oriented. Look towards the right here. The main pulley on the right hand side is that idler pulley. There's a 14mm nut. Once you loosen that, you're going to want to find this 8mm tensioner. Loosen that below the alternator. It's hard to find. And that belt should come off the alternator. And next, here's a photo of a new alternator. You see at the bottom corner that big arrow is pointing towards the hard to find 14mm bolt in the front. 3 bolts in total. So now I'm going to take you through my steps with video footage of the car. It's going to be hard to see everything, but reference those photos if you need help. These are the steps. Disconnect battery. Boom. Disconnect electrical components. Remove these radiator fans. Pull the radiator fill bottle off. Remove the 2 bolts from the back side of the alternator. So in a second I'm going to be pointing at the idler pulley nut. You're going to want to crack that loose and then move on to the tensioner. That's the 8mm head. I'm never going to be able to show you where that is because it's tucked under the alternator, but if you look at that first diagram in the introduction, you'll see where it should be, and you may be able to access all this stuff better from underneath the car. I hit it from the top, and I don't think that was necessarily the best idea. So here I am shakily trying to find the tensioner, but it is definitely hidden up underneath that alternator. So I just removed the idler pulley completely and then removed the belt and then found the 14mm bolt at the bottom of the alternator. But I think both strategies would work, either loosening the belt, the tensioner, and not taking the idler completely off, or just removing the idler completely. And I'm trying to point to where that bolt is for the alternator, the last alternator bolt, but it is seriously hidden directly underneath that the alternator pulley. You'll just have to blindly feel for it. I got it with a swivel 3/8. If you had a box end wrench, that would be good too. So here's a great view with the alternator removed and the idler pulley removed. That nut with nothing on it, that's where the idler pulley sits. To the right, if you follow it down, you'll see where that 8mm head kind of sits, and that's the tensioner adjustment. So you can see where the alternator sits above that, and it'd be really hard to reach that, but if you kind of feel around, you should be able to find it. You also have a pretty good view of where that hidden 14mm front bolt on the alternator is. You see it kind of behind the tensioner if you follow where the other back side bolt is. Once you get that loose, the alternator should just come right out. Reverse is the opposite. Good luck. Have fun. Also, another tip and trick is go online, look at the new part, and you can see where the mounting holes are. So on this one, see there's one in the back, one in the rear, and one up top. So yeah, that's always kind of a trick to see what you need to take off. There's the idler pulley. So yeah, I'm gonna keep cracking.